Do you need help figuring out what to include in your Valentine's wish list? Don't you worry, I got you, and I will be sharing my full face of top items that I recommend. Hi, welcome back to Superstar Glam. In today's video, we are going to be going over a full face of luxury items that I think are worth the splurge. And just for reference, I am combo skin and I am over 40, so all of these products will be for all ages. So if you're interested in this video, then just keep watching. So for primer, I am going to start with the Lancome La Base Pro. It's a perfecting makeup primer and it has like a smoothing effect. This is actually a recent purchase and so far I've been really loving it. It is kind of like a silicone base, but it does do a good job on smoothing. In the foundation category, I feel like is a go-to, the most iconic, talked about foundation. And although I even have the small size because the bigger size is pretty expensive, I still find that the small size is pretty expensive for a foundation. It's I think it retails for like $42. It's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. It's hyped and it's loved for good reason. It's not heavy at all. This is also one of those foundations that people like to use when it comes to bridals. The shade I have is number 6. I mean, this is definitely something that you can wear as an everyday foundation. It is going to be light to medium coverage, I would say, because it just gives me an even skin tone. This one, I feel like it's one of those foundations that you can literally combine with other foundations just because it just gives you that really nice finish. So if you are worried more about like coverage, go in with like your full coverage, not a lot, and then finish this off with this foundation and it would just give you such a skin-like effect. I am going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This one, a lot of people rave about it also, and this one for different reasons. This one just gives you the luminosity, the glow, but some people can wear this all on its own on their face, especially if you're more on the drier side, or you could go in like I'm doing and just pick the little areas that you want to bring some glow, which is the top of the cheeks, this whole area basically. If you have dry skin, I think you would love this on its own. So I'm gonna go next step to the contour. This has been tried to be duplicated, but honestly, I don't think that anyone or any brand has come close. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. It just works really seamless. You can dab it on your face, but I want a little bit more control. So I put it behind my hand. Yeah, it seems very scary, but it just blends out so nice. I'm going to go back with the foundation brush and I'm just going to go over the edges. I could tell you that so far everything that I have tried has been totally worth it. Like I said, this is a brand that everybody's trying to dupe the products, but I don't think anybody's really gotten close. The next step is blushes. And again, these are also from Charlotte Tilbury, but these are really good. I had first purchased the Tarte ones. So I think Tarte was kind of trying to dupe Charlotte Tilbury. The problem with the Tarte ones were that they were very shimmery. There wasn't enough pigment payoff. So on my skin tone, it just looked like I was wearing highlight. But these, I think that a lot of the colors, especially the lighter colors, I thought weren't going to show up on my skin tone, and they actually really work. And the best thing of all is that I love that they're matte, but They blend out so beautiful. They look so nice on the skin. I have two colors. I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna dip into both of them. This is in Peach Pop and this one is in Pink Pop. I think mixing both would kind of give me like a good peachy pink cheek. Look at this. Just blend out so nicely. And it's buildable, so even though the colors are a little bit on the lighter shade, you can definitely build it up. Oh, just so beautiful. I know it looks crazy. Everything will get blended out. Okay, I'm gonna go in with some bronzers. I have two. The one I'm gonna use is the Charlotte Tilbury, again, Charlotte Tilbury, a beautiful skin sun-kissed glow bronzer. Although this one I prefer in the summer because it's very pigmented, but it is just the right shade for the summer. It gives me that sun-kissed glow, and it just blends out so nice. It looks beautiful on the skin. You don't even have to apply anything else. You just go in with bronzer and you're done. The next one is this one. Now, this one has been around for a really long time. I think if I was going to guess on who created the cream bronzer, I would have to say it was Chanel. This is the Soleil 10 de Chanel bronze, and this was the universal shade. It's just so beautiful. The only issue that I had was that I was only able to wear this. Actually, I'm gonna wear this one for today, and I'm gonna skip on the Charlotte Tilbury one because, like I said, I did say this one is a little bit darker, and I do prefer that one in the summer when I'm a little bit more tan. The issue that I have with this one is that it's not a bronzer that I can use all year round because of the shade. I could only get away with it when the colder months, so this wouldn't show up on my skin if I was using it in the summer. But with that said, they have released a darker shade, which I've been meaning to pick up, and also they created a smaller version than the full size. So it is supposed to be a smaller pot. It is so worth the splurge. This is just basically second skin and just gives you that wash of color. I have a video, I'll include it right here. It is their makeup artist who has done JLo's makeup before, is Harush, and she talked about using the Chanel bronzer as the bronzer that she used to give JLo her glow. I picked this up. It's from Natasha Denona, and ever since I picked it up, I have not been able to put it down. It's just something about this one. It's the coverage. It's not heavy. It blends out beautiful. My under eye looks flawless, and it's also long wearing. Everything that I could possibly ask for in a concealer, this one is it. I did get it very light because I love a bright under eye. And this one is in the shade, I think it's Y2. But yes, I have been loving this concealer. Now, I am over 40, so therefore my preference in concealers are going to be, or my needs when it comes to concealers are going to be maybe different than yours, especially if you're younger and you don't have a lot of issues going on like fine lines, wrinkles, whatever it is. I mean, mine aren't so bad, but these days I do prefer a formula that's a little more lightweight. I used to love Tarte Shape Tape, but now on my skin, it's just, it doesn't look pretty. It's too heavy, it's too full coverage, it's too drying. I do try to moisturize under the eyes, but even then it's just heavy. But this one is just so beautiful. I just love it for the finish that it gives. I'm gonna go back with the whatever was left over on the blush brush, and then just going to melt those edges together. I'm also going to take the brush that I used for the bronzer, and again, I'm also going to just try to melt those edges. I'm not trying to fluff this up, but literally if you saw my skin up close, you would just see how beautiful everything has melted. There's somewhat of truth behind splurging sometimes on well worth products, because the results that you get are just unexplainable. You just have to see it to believe it. This is another purchase that I was influenced to pick up. And I love the fact that it comes in a small version. So if you wanted to try it out, you can pick up a smaller version than the full size. I follow the makeup artist, the professional makeup artist, Nikki LaRose, here on YouTube. And she raves about this powder. Now, I think the other one that was talking about it was Tati. And this is the Givenchy Prism Libre Matte Finished and Enhanced Radiance Loose Powder. They're totally not wrong on how beautiful the under eye looks with this powder. I don't know if you can tell. This is the set eye, and then this is the one I haven't set. It's just something about this powder that just does it so well. It's not drying under the eyes. It sets, and then it just gives you such an airbrush look underneath the eyes. Okay, another powder. I just have a lot of powders that I use for different reasons. So this one is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Finish, and I have this one in the medium number 2 shade. And this one's like a perfect all over powder to set all over the face, and it just works beautifully. It's finely milled and it's so lightweight on the skin. Totally recommend. I have 2 shades. I have the number 1, and then I have this one. This one I use for all over the face. If I wanted to set the under eye, which I do sometimes use that one. Again, if you didn't want to splurge on the full size, they do carry a small version of it. This is what I have right here. This one's the number 1. And this one's fair, but I like to use this one for under the eyes. Love that one. But this one's also a recent discovery. I just am gonna rave about this. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Pressed Powder. This is in a neutral. I believe it comes in 2 or 3 different shades. This one, I just use a fluffy brush and I set the entire face with this. I don't necessarily think that it gives a lot of the tint, but the result I get from this is just beautiful. Again, airbrushed effect to the skin. It's not heavy. And almost like you can continue applying layers of this powder and it just doesn't affect it. But this is like almost like also a touch-up powder, like if you were running around and then all of a sudden your oils are peeking through. Throw this on and just fixes it flawlessly. Definitely recommend you trying that powder out. The only product that's high-end that I use for my brows is the Patrick Ta, the Major Brow Lamination Gel. This one's game changer. If you haven't tried this, and if you're like me and struggle to have something that can lock your brow hairs into place, but also not have like that sticky feeling or flaky, like when they turn white. This does not do that. But I also use this in combination with the NYX the Tinted Brow Mascara. But this combo right here, just game changer for me when it comes to brows. I love doing my brows now. I used to hate it. It was like a big chore, but this is the only high-end product that I use for my brows. Other than that, everything else is NYX. I will do my brows off camera and I'll be back. In case I didn't mention, the Patrick Ta Lamination Brow Gel also comes in a smaller size, so you could try it out before buying the full size. Just a tip. For the eyes, I'm going to prime my eyes and I'm going to use the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour extended eye base. I also like to use the Prolong Wear Paint Pot and the shade Soft Ochre, but I'm just going to use this one. I have really oily eyelids, so I definitely always have to prime my eyes. I cannot skip this eye, especially if I will be applying eyeshadow. I'm taking whatever's left over on that powder puff and just set the eye. I know I'm all over the place, but before I start with the eyes, I want to seal that bronzer. And one of my all-time favorites, I've been using this forever. Just barely did I hit pan on this, but I wear this even when I'm not wearing anything and I just want a flush of color. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. This is the best bronzer because it's not matte. It just gives such a nice sheen. If you haven't tried anything from Hourglass, all of the face products, the blushes, they all give such a luminous, like what it says on the title, luminous complexion. I've already hit pan and it's taken me forever to do that. They're so worth it because, like I said, it go a long way. They just have like the best formula. They just enhance your skin. That's, I think, the best way I could describe all the products that I have tried from Hourglass. They enhance the skin just looking so healthy. They bring back a glow and life to your face. Totally worth the splurge. I'm going to set my face and I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Okay, now we are moving into the eyes. I am a palette hoarder and I'm not ashamed to admit that. So when it comes to eyeshadows, I just love too many. And I believe that these brands I'm going to mention are totally worth the splurge. I think the first one and the one that you can't really go wrong, whatever palette you decide to choose, I don't think you can go wrong with it, especially because all the palettes that she has released have all been based on whatever your interest is. So if you wanted a whole neutral, all matte, if you wanted pops of color, if you wanted a color story, dark smoky eyes, whatever the case may be, she has a color story to please everybody. And the hefty price point is totally, in my opinion, worth every penny, especially from the quality of shadows. I have not gotten anything that I was disappointed or did not like from this brand, and that is Natasha Denona. This is the latest one I've picked up. Not sure if this is the last one she's released, which I think it is. It's the I Need a Nude palette, and this is what it looks like inside. And I feel like this one has an array of shades of like cool tones, but it still has some that are a little on the warmer side if that's what you liked. But I think it has a good cohesive, so it's not all cool tones. This palette just works for whatever your preference is, and it just has a beautiful color story. It's nude, but it's like nude pink, rosy, romantic, just very, very beautiful. The shimmers are out of this world, great quality, pop of shimmer, smooth, buttery consistency. This brand is, from the palettes that I've gotten in the past, are typically definitely out of this world. Pops of color, the consistency are multi-dimensional chrome, just in your face shadows that are incredible, and it has a pretty hefty price point. But they did release a neutrals, I would call it a neutral palette, but it's multifunctional, and that is the Nessa Myricks, the Groundwork Defining Neutrals. And it has an array, any neutral you can ever think of, but it has a cream base and a powder, which you can use all over. Whether you were trying to use this as a contour palette or you were trying to use this for a neutral look, whatever it is, this palette is basically multifunctional. But if you've picked up any of her other eyeshadow palettes that are limited edition, this is definitely the great companion for those palettes. I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona. We're going to continue with a look. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, But what else is new?
This one, that one, wanna talk about it, baby. They trying to understand how you got me, but nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. Yeah. Looking real attractive, so they asking about me, baby. Trying to get a little closer and get a sense about it, but nobody needs to know.
Okay, I'm gonna go in with a liner, and this is a pencil liner by Makeup by Mario. I picked this up, so I usually stick with liquid, but this color is just beautiful. Like, you can use this almost like every day just to pop on your lash line, just to add dimension. It's just so beautiful. On one end you sharpen the pencil, and then the other end it comes with a little tiny brush and helps you feather out if you don't want like a harsh line. But it is just such a velvety soft pencil, buttery soft. It literally just glides on, and I do apply it messy, and I'm going to actually go in with a pencil brush just to go over the edges. The formula allows you to feather it out. I normally don't tightline, but with this pencil and this color, I feel like it actually works really, really nicely. Usually I don't do it because the black just seems so intense, but with this one, it's just the perfect shade and not too harsh. It also doesn't run or smear. It definitely stays in place.
We're gonna outshine today. Yeah, we're gonna light the way. We got that golden glow. We got that golden glow. Oh yeah. We like to run a little while, so ain't no cares about.
Okay, let's move on to mascara. I have a few favorite mascaras that they would be my go-to in the luxury department. Number one is actually, I don't have it, but I've repurchased it many times, and that is the Dior Backstage Mascara. That was one of the first high luxury mascara that I tried. I just love how my lashes look. They give me curl, they give me length, they give me volume, everything that I look for. The formula is amazing. The second one is YSL. I will include a picture here of the YSL one, but that one I love, and I love how it smells. That scent, it brings memories back when I was first trying out makeup, and I just remember being able to afford luxury items. So although I don't purchase them all the time, those are definitely two of my top luxury mascaras that I hands down recommend. Now, this one is a small size. I also enjoy Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes, and yes, I think this came in a little gift set, but I love that it has the little silicone bristles, but I just love that for getting to the root of the lash. But this is instantly giving me volume and length, and this is just one coat. Look at this, before, after. Yeah, so this is a newer mascara that I've tried, but I instantly fell in love with it. Like, who needs false lashes? See why I always say during the holidays, jump on the gift sets, because you can always find luxury items in smaller sizes and you become hooked. Unless you don't want to. Instead, I'm going to go into powder highlights. This one is definitely worth the splurge when it comes to highlights. I mean, there's so many other ones. It was really, really hard to pick just one, but just this one it just gives you that like wet look without it looking powdery. I've loved it. Packaging is luxurious. Definitely feels like quality. So it comes in this like little velvet bag. This is the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer. This one is in 001. Sometimes they release like limited edition packaging. I'm always tempted, but I already have it. So there's literally like no fallout. Just, but the sheen it gives, it is just so beautiful on the skin. Doesn't emphasize any fine lines. Like I definitely, if I had to recommend a highlighter that would suit so many different skin tones and ages, I definitely would have to be this one. Yeah, I'm bringing this back. Need to use it more often. Okay, so I guess now we go on to lips. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't splurged on lip liners. So I'm not even going to invent that. And I'm just going to go in with a good old NYX lip liner. This one's in the shade Downtown Beauty. So I know what my next splurge will be. Will be trying out the high-end lip liners. Two that are just luxury. The packaging scream luxury. And the quality of the products are superb. They're just awesome. Is the first one is Charlotte Tilbury. Shocker. But look at the packaging. Super, super nice and sleek. But these are the, I don't even know the names of it, but this shade is very Victoria. And it's just like a comfortable semi-matte. They glide on the lips. There's no skipping. They don't emphasize my lines. It smells like a cupcake. But this shade in particular, I love just to throw on and I look put together no matter what it is. And it's almost like the shade of my lips. And this just becomes like the perfect shade of lipstick. The other one is YSL. And these are like, for example, this one is the Rouge Volupte Shine. Yes, the packaging, just beautiful. But these were lipsticks that I literally would carry in my purse as a quick lip option. If I didn't have anything, I just wanted something. The consistency was like a balmy, shiny but not slippery formula, and it gave you just like a hint of color depending on what you got. And then you also have the lipsticks, and these are the Rouge Pure Couture. And I have several of these, the nude colors. I think I even have the limited edition. It's like a red orange color, but they're just, I just love YSL and the scents. It has a certain scent that it just transports me to my younger self. You just feel luxe when you're carrying this in your purse. There's just no denying that. It's almost like the same shade as the Charlotte Tilbury one. It's really, really close. So I'm going to go in with the YSL lipstick because it's lighter. It just has like a really creamy consistency versus the Charlotte Tilbury. It just has more of like semi-matte. And then I'm going to top it off with that Shine one. I don't know if I mentioned, but that setting spray from Charlotte Tilbury locks everything into place. Wearing all luxury items that are totally worth the splurge. I feel that they're all ages friendly. Doesn't matter, young, mature, whatever it is, anywhere in between. These products just work so well. There's a reason why a lot of these products are repurchases, why a lot of people rave about them, recommend them to all, because they are just high quality products. If you wanted to include this on your Valentine's wish list, you're welcome. Why not? So these are the items that I swear by, that I totally recommend, that you should totally splurge on, and they are worth the money. Please let me know down in the comment section, what is your favorite product out of all the products that I showed you today. Let me know what it is that you're going to be including on your wish list. And also let me know any video recommendations. I would love to do that for you. Other than that, I really appreciate you watching. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you next time. Bye.